Hi guys. I'm just getting up for the day. I'm kind of annoyed, not about anything. It's just like, I don't know. Not really, but like not other people's versions of like annoyed or mad, because like I don't really go that far, I guess, but my version, where I'm just like a little bit like, my version of a lot would be, or my version of a lot would be like other people's just a little bit. I think that makes sense, because other people would get like more mad than I do, as like, but it's like not based on anything, but like, you know how like if somebody is like, oh, like I woke up like annoyed or something, like my most amount that I could be annoyed would only be a little bit compared to like the most that anybody else could be annoyed, just like in general. Like if you met a random person, they're like, oh, like are you, like for me, yes, compared to what I normally am, yes, but like compared to what most people would count themselves as being like mad, like I would actually be like very calm and like normal. Anyway, I'm just gonna like brush my teeth, get ready for the day. I swear, oh my gosh. Like all I've been doing is like washing my face, but I'm literally allergic to water or something. Like always, always, always. It's never not like, not when I'm like in the shower, but like, because sometimes I'm not allergic to water. Only some kinds of water, only sink water, but not shower water or any other kind of water, because why would I be allergic to that? That doesn't make sense. But like, of course my face would feel like all tingly and terrible. I hate that. Like when have like sink water on my face. Like, of course I can, you know, of course I can afford, you know, with my worth, of course I can afford to have that, but like from the sink, but I just really can't afford to have that from like a shower. You know what I mean? Like, of course I can afford that. Like, of course, like, not like in monetary value, but like, you know, of course I can afford, you know, that. Okay. Now I just need to do I hate having to clear my throat. It just started to annoy me. Obviously nothing against my sister, but one time I feel like she cleared her throat like every 5 minutes for like a year or something. Like, it seemed like a lot, but it is what it is, and those were her choices. I don't know. Or like maybe like a nervous tick. Like when I was little, I literally would like blink all the time, for example, like a lot, because I had like serious like nervous like issues, I guess. Not really, because it wasn't like really with anything else, but that was like the one way that it like presented itself, that I would just like blink a lot for like a long time. But then as soon as like my mom would get mad at me over it, or like people would be like, you need to stop, we don't like it anymore, like you started blinking a lot and like now we don't like you, like that kind of thing, you know. So it's like, oh, so I'm not saying anything against like that, but now when I like clear my throat, I think of the fact that she had like that situation where it seemed like a nervous tick, like she would do it all the time, or like whatever, like a habit that's like people are like, oh, I have to do that, that kind of thing. I'm not gonna like, you know, I don't know why, but that's what it seemed like. So it makes me think of it. I'm like, oh, like I'm just doing the same thing, but it's like, no, like nobody owns like that, like if someone's like clearing their throat, like nobody owns that, like, but never mind. I don't know. Let's see, I have to like, I'm gonna brush my hair. I'm gonna go find my chapstick also. I forgot, I kind of need it. I'm so glad I got this necklace. Like, it goes so good with like brown hair and a black shirt. Like, I don't know. It kind of goes well with like whatever I have going on. It's like, I don't know. Like, I think it's all the same color. It just has like details that you can like feel. I don't know what you call it. Like ingrained. Not ingrained. I don't know what it's called. It's not engraved because that would be like personally done, right? But it's like textured. Like, yeah. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I think metal, I'm like, actually, I have one brain cell, so like, I don't know. I'm like, actually, I think metal is like liquid and then they like put it in a mold, but I don't know if that's true, but I think it's true. I'm like, I have like one brain cell, so I actually like, it's not like I'm gonna be explaining it to you, because I'm like, actually, I don't know about this now. I don't know why. I just don't. Like, I think that metal is liquid and they put it into a mold, but that's just like a really good mold. Because I don't think people like carve metal. It's not like wood. Imagine if wood could be like a liquid and then they put it in a mold. Imagine if we had that option. Imagine if there's like a wood from the tree and then liquid wood and you could have like either one. Just imagine if like you had choices, you know? Like imagine like if we mattered enough to have options, like that might be kind of good. No? 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 You don't like liquid wood? What if it didn't even have like lines in it or whatever? Like you know how wood naturally has its lines? I'm just looking at the floor to be like, is that true? I think so. Like, you know, but I have like, you know, 1 foot on the tile, 1 foot on like the mismatched just pieces of wood on the ground. Because that's how it is. But it's like the rest of the house is like hardwood, except in the hallway it's like wood tiles, but I think they're real. No, I don't know if they're real, but the rest of the house is like real hardwood, but it's old enough that there's like little termite eaten spots, but it is hardwood, so I don't know. But like there's still like, I don't know, little like missing like spots. Like it'll be missing like a little, like not a whole plank, but like a little like piece. Like it'll be like, oh, like it's chipped right there, like it's just missing a spot. In my closet in my bedroom, I could literally look down and I'm just looking at dirt. Like I'm just looking at like, you know, because like the house, it has those gray bricks like supporting it in a way, but also the house was built so long ago. It was built by my paternal grandmother's father. So because of that, the house is just so old. That's why it has its issues, but then there's like little things that it's like go a little unfixed, but it's like, I mean, more than most people have, but that's not the point. The point is, like, things are like weirdly naturally occurring that just are like, they stay that way. But like, it's so funny. I don't even know how this is possible. Again, when I look into my like closet, I think one time there were like bees in my closet. Like, like actually, but it might have been when my brother lived here, so it was like also his closet, but like, cause it's like a big room, we like shared it, you know, like split it, was what I was gonna say, but yeah, like, it's kind of funny, cause like, why were there, I don't know if there were wasps or bees, I think there were bees, no, there were bees, but there were, I don't know if there were bees or wasps in the living room, like in the wall in the living room, but there was a hole in the wall in the living room and that's where the bees were gonna come out. So that wasn't working out. But yeah, at some point in time there were like, I think bees in my closet. But that's actually kind of easy for the bees to get in because like I said, if I look at the floor, it's like it's not like, oh the floor of my closet is dirt, because it's actually like a few feet like down and then there's dirt. I'm pretty sure, but it's not all just like open. It's like a little bit, it's like that big or something of like a hole, and then it's dirt, but it's like shredded like the wood, and then the rest is just wood. It's like fine, but yeah, it's just like a little like shape, and then it's like shredded, but there's like, you can see inside. If I use like a flashlight, it would be just like dirt down there probably, like, you know. Yeah. But I guess like no longer are there bees in my closet because that was like years ago, so I'm not like, oh no. bees in my closet, you know? But at some point in time, I was like, oh no, are there like bees in the closet? And there's also like wasp spray in the closet, just like a bottle of it from whenever there had to be bees in the closet, you know? Like whenever that was a thing, like, you know, these bees be in the closet. I don't know. So I'm not leaving my hair like this. I'm about to put products in it so it can actually look better. It's like fluffy. Fluffy. It's like if I were a dog and I'm ready to go to a dog show, this is what my hair would be like, but like I'm not a dog, so it's not gonna work out. Like, you know how they have like fluffy hair and like it just looks like that, but it's like the good version for if you're a dog. But if you're not a dog, like your hair isn't supposed to be like so fluffy necessarily. Like, I mean, it can. You can do whatever you want, but like, I don't know. You will do whatever you want. It's how life is. Oh, I'm just careless. Just like, why did I do that? I was supposed to go to work today, but I had just like the worst stabbing pain into my stomach, and I was like, from what? What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? You know? Like clearly I did nothing. It's not about that. I don't, you know, it's not like that. But I don't know. It's funny. Alright, how is the hair? It's just not like what I wanted. Okay, just the front profile without this part is like what I wanted. Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, but now it's like fluffy and weird in the back. I don't even like that. I have to put like way more products in it. How's this? Okay, it's pretty good. That part's just stressing me out. Like, but it doesn't matter. Like, it wasn't always gonna be that good. It's fine. I had no reason to think it was gonna be like more than pretty good at the start, so. But it isn't bad. It isn't bad. It's just sometimes when you like, I don't know. I'll explain in a second. Okay, I have this thing where I'll like idealize the art that I wanted to make, or the way I wanted something to be. And then when I find out how good it's going to be at the best of my potential at the moment, it's so impossibly disappointing. The final product could be like, I basically would have like won the lottery, but it's like, I thought I was gonna win the whole moon. Like, that's what I like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, so then the final product is like so disappointing that I'm like, okay, like, it's gonna be fine. Like, even if it's like, you know what I mean? Even if it were to be like something amazing, I would still be like, this is really bad. So that's also why it took me so long to like start singing, or like, you know, anytime I put out a project with anything, I had to be like, okay, the best of my abilities combined with like the effort I'm putting into it, the time I'm putting into it, and then like it's fine if it doesn't compare to the vision of what it was supposed to be. Like, that part's really hard, because like I just always wanted, if I envision something and it's so good but I have to find out that it's impossible, for me, I don't know, that's like a really hard fall, because, so I think that's also part of like, if I had been born into a life where I had like a lot of money or resources, like I would have had a really hard fall from that. Not because I wouldn't have been able to like maintain my like worth, I guess, but I would have had like a really hard fall, because it's like I wasn't ready to find out that if I had a vision and all of the resources in the world, that it still couldn't meet what I wanted it to be or what I expected. Like, I wasn't ready to find out that like, even if you have resources, it's still like the best that your soul is capable of, regardless of how many resources you have, like what the finished product is. And then I had like such a strong vision either way, my voice, but like either way I would have had such a strong vision that it's like I don't know, like even if I had been born with like $1 billion, if I had been, I would have been more likely to like jump off a bridge at the start of my life, like pretty early in my years, which is, it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but the only thing I cared about was like the vision that I had becoming something, and being, not just becoming something, but being exactly every detail that I can imagine, being exactly what I wanted it to be. I'm not even kidding. Like, I needed everything to be exactly what I imagined, or I just wasn't gonna be okay, and I didn't care. Like, I was literally gonna be like, might as well die, like, that's it. Like, you know, like, so it's kind of like, you know, not having things has helped me to come to terms with sometimes things are just the best that you can do regardless of your resources, for better or worse. And whether your resources are better or worse or anything like that, it's like you still have you, even if nothing you create is what you thought it was going to be. So, but anyway, I have this like face moisturizing gel cream that I'm gonna put, you know, but yeah, I do think I have no idea how I'm gonna build my life up to be like what I hope, but I'm trying to come up with ways that would make sense and be possible and that kind of thing, but like, you know, it's kind of not like making sense or being possible that much, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anything's possible, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna make it possible, but it's not possible yet, but if I can make it possible, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I just have to be willing to accept the actual results regardless of what they are. Because if I can't accept myself, like, in spite of the results, even if the results are good, like, then what? Then I might as well not upgrade until I can fix that and work on myself enough. So, yeah, I hate this part of my voice. It's, like, not that good. We'll see. I always put way too much on and then it just dries up, so. I'm gonna look like bees put honey all over my face at first. And then it'll look normal after like a minute, I think. But yeah, I care a lot about like building up the worth of my soul in a lot of ways. But I also, you know, I think about, okay, if I were to upgrade, like I need to keep in mind not losing anything that not losing any virtue that can physically present itself in my life right now. Not losing that. Like, I don't want to ever be somebody who would like upgrade, but into like in like a less good way, I guess. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It doesn't, but it does. Like, I don't want to be somebody who, okay, for example, I don't know, something like having bees in my closet or having like bamboo right outside my house or something. I'm like, okay, clearly like this has like energy of this type. So is that energy a part of me, or is it just a thing that happens to be happening? And how much of that do I take with me, and how much of that do I have control over, whether or not I sort of like take with me just in a different form? It depends on how strong I am, right? Like whether or not I'm able to like have like the reincarnation of my own life without dying, or actually changing me, but only changing like circumstance, right? If I could ever, you know. But yeah, then it's like, well, what aspects am I hoping to find a new presentation for, but still keep with me? Like either way, even if it's a loss essentially because I changed something about, like, I'm kind of like, okay, like what's the cost of changing my life? Like what do I lose? What do I gain? Because I almost believe like you kind of lose something every time you gain something. So like, but you have to be the one who keeps record of that. And if you're somebody who that would go over your head, you're going to lose more because you never would have realized. So I don't want to be somebody who never would have realized, but also that's like a weird standard to have because nobody thinks like that, but like I think like that. So it's just stupid. Like it doesn't make sense to anybody else, but like in the context of my life, it makes so much sense. So it's not like I'm shedding those beliefs. Like I do believe in, just because in the context of my own life it makes sense. So it's not about anybody else. I don't care if people believe in me that much. It's like, if I cared if people believed in me, like I would have died. Like it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't matter. What was that? Okay, yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty good. It's so funny because I analyze a lot of factors that were never supposed to be variables. But a lot of the time in my life, those are the only variables. So those are the only things that change. So then I'm turning things that are non-variables for everybody else into variables for me. For example, a lot of people wouldn't have seen a lot of variety in like the way that they look in certain ways and then convince themselves they can control it, and then not just convince themselves but like find confirmation and proof of it, like mentally control it. Like that doesn't make sense, right? That much. But like I was able to just like confirm some of that for myself but then not have full control over it. So it's almost like a supernatural power, but it's like I can't even control it, so what's that worth? Not a lot, but it's better than what everybody else has. But also in exchange for what? Because like other people's lives have like other amazing things, and like I don't know, I analyzed the whole like, well, where can I upgrade? I don't know. We're finally, after 31 minutes, going to a more important setting, but now I have to look good already, you know, to be all the way out here, guys. Are we gonna go light on or light off? I think we're gonna turn the light on. Let's see. Do I want coffee or tea? I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna have tea. But then like why didn't I drink coffee if I have tea? But if I feel like tea is like a little more hydrating than coffee. And I'm doing that thing where I always feel like dehydrated. I was really like meditating on it and I was able to fix it in a meditation, but when I'm not a part of the meditation, I can't fix it. So, you know, it doesn't matter or anything. I guess I can make coffee while I'm making tea and just in 2 mugs and just have both. For no reason, I don't know. I need to like refuel myself. Which one is better? They're both good, but like I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about like which energy they each give me. I feel like this one's better for like right now. And I kind of feel like I need one of these, but like it's literally the last one in the box. They barely put any in there. It only comes with how many? I'm stupid. I'm like, where's the number? Oh, it comes with 6, and I drink those in like 2 days. So. Oh yeah, I forgot to microwave the tea or even get out a tea bag. Cause I'm so smart, like that's why. Like, okay, green tea. Green tea. I would just have like lemon water, but we're out of like lemon juice. So I would have like water with like fruit in it, but I kind of stopped doing that. Like, I liked water with fresh fruit out of nowhere recently, but we're out of the strawberries I was using because I kind of like that. But I don't really know. I don't like the water with frozen fruit that much right now. But I did. Okay, you're gonna hear that. It's gonna be annoying. You're gonna go somewhere else. You're my hamster. You need a new habitat. You're gonna die if you don't get one. Okay. Wait. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna find something for you to support on so you can be more supported as a person. As a hamster in all your roles, you know? It's okay, I got us the only two things in life that matter, a tripod and a scented candle. So, you don't really have to worry about us not mattering anymore. Now that we have a tripod and a scented candle, like, everything's subjective, you know. Are you gonna stand? Are you supported? I'm not very helpful in your hamster endeavors. I even poisoned your hamster food because I wanted to see if I could make your life harder and still have you survive. You survived, but at what cost, right? Paralyzed from the mouth down? Paralyzed from the eyes down? Like, I don't know. Your surviving endeavors. That's really your only responsibility as a hamster is like survive. And you couldn't even do that, but obviously I wasn't very helpful either, so like accountability, you know? Like I'm not sorry, but like it's too bad that happened. You know? Okay. I'm gonna like open a window, but like curtains. Curtains! Okay. All the things that make us important. Here's tea. Okay. And our scented candle. And sparkling water. Or sparkling juice. It's not water. No, I'm still gonna be dehydrated even after all this. But like, you know, that's what makes the human life worth it. I'll explain also. I don't know. I'm gonna get the coffee though. The coffee. Wait, you're coming with me. Whoa. You get to do things? I didn't know you were still allowed to do things. Still? No one stopped you yet, right? Okay. There's barely any in here. Listen. It's not the best sound. Sounds like there's a piece of glass in there. Like, why is it so tiny and so, like, insecure? Okay. Beep boop. Woo! Yep. That ticket muncher at those places. Like, not amusement parks, but like, what are they called? Arcades. Okay, that barely worked. But better than nothing, right? Ew. Ew. I got some on the floor somewhere. But I don't know where, so it doesn't matter. I think I'm just gonna add like normal cream to this because it got to the point where it's like, for reference, like I think like dark coffee is like, oh my voice. That was bad. That was so bad. You heard that? That was so bad. That was so bad. That was so bad. Whatever, it's fine. Just not flattering, you know? Like, okay. Heavy whipping cream. I was gonna talk about the color. I was gonna say that like, now it's like the color of the floor in my house after like a tiny bit of cream, but honestly, dark coffee is darker than the floor. So it was like a little bit of a difference, but that's not the point. Now it's like, I don't know what you would call that. It's like brown milk now, like slightly brown milk. Not like chocolate milk, but like, what would you call that? Like a Ritz cracker. Very light coffee. Tiny bit darker than a Cheez-It. All right. Got all our stuff. Wow, we're setting off to a really important day. Okay, this is a really good start for a day. It's a really, really, really good start for a day. Okay. Coffee. What is on the ground? Well, I don't know what that is, but didn't come from me. Didn't come from me. So, not my responsibility. So, I don't know. Anyway, okay, chapstick. Chapstick is a part of a really important day because, my voice, dude, like literally, if you love me either way, it's fine. So, I just have to be more mindful, which is so sad, because why can't this just come more naturally to me? Okay. I'm gonna try this again. Chapstick. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring out how I'm gonna talk now. But that's not the point. Chapstick. Chapstick. You know, it's super important because you have to keep your, I got like a really bad ice pick headache for no reason. Dude. Like, seriously? Okay, like, so sad. Anyway, we'll move on. I don't really care anymore if I get ice pick headaches. Like, I kind of ignore them. Like, yeah, you're like physically in pain, but after, I forget it happened and I don't care that it happened afterwards. And I'm like, okay, like, that was fun, but like what next, you know? Like I'm like, okay, like, so I'm gonna turn off the light in the, well, do I want to? I don't know what I want the lighting to be. Why would I have to know what I want the lighting to be? What do I want? I feel like turning on a light or off a light is like an omen. I'm like literally, you know, I'm like, I'll leave it on, I think, whatever. Anyway, chapstick. You have to have hydrated lips. If there's ever a risk that you're not going to have completely hydrated lips, it's and you don't have like the perfect chapstick, your whole entire day is ruined. But not just your day is ruined in a way where you believe that you are never going to have a good life. Your day becomes ruined in a way where you actually lose sight of the possibility that you're ever going to have a good day again. And so life doesn't just lose all its meaning, it loses all of its comfort, and all of the comfort that you are able to really trust and believe that your future is going to have. So if you have to exist in a world without chapstick, even if it's not the zombie apocalypse, you might as well die because it's the same thing. So chapstick is the most important first. Again, I think I said coffee. You want to know that you're going to be awake and you're not going to feel like you're going to fall asleep halfway through your day. So the only thing about the coffee that could have been better is if it would have been a little bit more flavored, but that thing totally gave out on us. So it's fine. It gave us a different experience, but it really just transitioned us into the next phase. So the most bland part of this is the coffee. The coffee is the thing that does the least for us here, but it still has a purpose. Like, it still serves a purpose. It does something. Okay. And as you can see, this mug it says "get after it," which is, those are very inspiring words. It means something about whatever you're not doing but you already think you want to do, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So it's kind of inspiring. Kind of. Roughly a little bit inspiring. Estimated at 90% inspiring sometimes. But it's not raining, or it would be like twice as inspiring. Anyway, we have tea. This is green tea. I kind of forgot what green tea tastes like because I have a raisin brain, so I forget things sometimes when it's not my current experience. But let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really smell inspiring, but the inspiring part is that I bought this mug the other day at Target for $5.99, and what's really inspiring and good about that is that it proves that Target is willing to sell things that have infinite value for no money. And that's really good for us because it means that the economy still has the capacity to grow in a supportive way to the average person. Because if it had been a $10 mug, I wouldn't have jumped very quickly at making the purchase. And look how much I love the mug. And look how much you love the mug. And look how much the tea bag loves the mug. It's even like doing this weird thing where it like moves around for no reason. That's a sign of love. So, yeah. And it has this like weird edge. And what's good about that is that it makes you question your life choices. It's very good for that reason. So yeah, the tea doesn't really taste like anything, but it's the most hydrating object we have here. Actually, this is probably the most hydrating, but this doesn't make sense to call the most hydrating. Well, actually, this is probably the most hydrating, but again, this doesn't make sense. So you can't say that a candle would be more hydrating to you than water, even if it's true, because other people are never going to believe you. And they're going to think that you're a liar, and then they're not going to like you anymore, because sometimes that happens for no reason. Even though you should have had a right to lie if you wanted to, because it was nobody's business. But sometimes other people just stop liking you when that happens, so that's why you should sometimes not do that. Let's see. Okay. Now, on to... We need to light this candle, I think. Don't we? Maybe not yet. Sometimes things have a natural order, but you have to, like, meditate on what the natural order is, or you're gonna fuck your whole life up. And then you're gonna be like, oh, I shouldn't have gone that way, but I don't know why, and I don't know where I went wrong. Like, that's not me that much. Okay. So, this is apple sparkling water. Apple sparkling water. Very carefully opening it because I hate when the contents of a drink like spray out and then you're like, oh my god, like I'm having a different experience than I originally signed up for because that's how careless I was. I deserve it because I was that careless, but I shouldn't have to. Okay. You know what that looks like. Anyway. Yeah, again, it might just be the sugar or the fact that it's green apple juice, but yeah. Very hydrating. The fact that you can taste the autumn leaves in there, and you can really taste the fact that it came from an apple tree and an apple orchard. It boosts the imagination. You start to get some of those images in your mind and you're like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Halloween is probably coming up if we're in this apple orchard. So, yeah. Anyway, now we have the Lunchable. What's super good about the Lunchable? Well, it reminds us that we have creative minds that are still evolving regardless of our age. So, it reminds us that we have a right to regardless of our age. Okay, I got the pizza one. You know? Oh, and sauce. For all of our creative endeavors where we have to create things. Now, for the candle. This is pumpkin bourbon scented. It was a $10 Target candle, which was not a bad price, I think. For like that size. It burns kind of slow too. Every time I would burn it, it like... I feel like I would have it for hours and it would barely go down, so I don't know. Anyway, let's light the damn thing, right? Let's light the damn thing. Whoa. Don't forget to burn your finger in the act. So you can remember that you're still having a human experience. That hurt. See? That's how you remember that you're still alive. You don't really like intentionally do it because then that means there's something wrong with you, but if you don't intentionally do it but you just accidentally let it happen, then you know you're still doing a good job. See? Oh, so good. Okay. So good. So good. You guys can't really see the candle because it doesn't fit into the frame, but this is where we're at. Someday, maybe we'll have a candle where you can see it. Multiple candles, 10 candles where you can see them. Someday. Someday. We gotta work up to it. Okay. Get ourselves situated. It always does this. So it doesn't mean that I'm failing at life, it just means it always does this. It does like the, you know. I didn't want to cut it off with scissors because I feel like scissors are dirty because scissors are used for other things and not just little pizza things. See, we have unfixable, uncleanable situations are the generic version of life that everybody gets. So you have to like actually fix it, and there's no way to fix it. Like, what is this? What the hell is that? It feels like an awkward experience, but all awkward experiences feel somehow sexual in nature and then makes you more awkward like 20,000 times. So it's like you're cursed for trying to have a human experience and you have to like cope with everything happening, you know? Because you're like, why does this make me awkward? That's terrible. It's so sad. I don't know what to do about this. Like, nothing can fix this. And then you just know that energy is like collecting in your aura, and people are gonna say something about it when they notice. They're gonna be like, wow, you're a really awkward person. You're like, yeah, I know. I thought about jumping off a bridge over it, but I decided not to, so thank you so much for reminding me. Like, I really appreciate the reminder again, just like burning your finger on a candle. It reminds you you're still a person having this person experience, and no matter how much you can learn and upgrade, you still don't matter enough. Because you still deserve to matter more, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. Anyway, we've got those 3 pepperonis on there. You can barely tell because I don't really want it to like fall apart. The universal experience with these, putting the pepperonis on very far apart from each other, they still all fall off onto you in one bite. So, or they're all in your mouth at the same time, even though you literally I don't know. Even though you tried to be careful and only take one bite. Then you're like, okay, well, I wouldn't be a creative person if I didn't eat some of the ingredients separately, but they barely give me any cheese, and I can't do it without the cheese. And I still have 2 other little tortilla things, so I'm gonna eat one of the pepperonis separately so I can remember that I'm still creative enough to be like an important person, right? And they only give you enough pepperonis for each one to have 3, so now one of yours is going to only have 2. And you just have to know that and be okay with it. And even though the cheese is so good, and you feel like a bird when you eat the cheese, because for some reason birds eat cheese, you have to like watch it. You have to watch yourself with the cheese. You can't zone out and eat all the cheese. You have to be so careful. You have to be so mindful of your experience. This is why we meditate, so that when it really matters, we don't eat all of the cheese in the Lunchable immediately. This is what it was all for, you know? So you have to ration the sauce and do it the right way. You have to make sure you have an acceptable amount at least. It's not gonna be even, probably, but an acceptable amount for both. We don't blindly, we're not 2 years old. We don't blindly do this. We're smart, we're adults. That's why we do this, and that's also why we have to be smart. Okay.
Again, it's literally just floppy. And you have to really try so hard to not internalize the fact that it's floppy, but you definitely will, and it definitely will be a part of you for the rest of your life, that this one experience happened and that the little thing was floppy. And no, you don't even deserve to have this be internalized forever, but there's no undoing it once it's begun. It's a direct reflection of how important we all are, and it's a good reminder that none of us are important enough to not have that happen. Unless you cut it off with scissors, but scissors might be dirty because they've been used for something else. How is there water on the ground? I swear that human life is going to give me dementia because nothing makes sense, but it's not that important. I don't know. I'm already like, nothing makes sense. That much, you know. So, wow. This is like, honestly, with the candle in the background, it's giving me like the energy of Minecraft. Like, it's not that different. With all of my objects here, it's not that different. Like, I literally have, I don't know. What do you mean? I have candles. I have this. I have tea. I have coffee. I have chapstick. Like, I'm so important, you know? Honestly, one awkward experience will stay with you for the rest of your life. You gotta be careful what you spend that on. I was not taking a thumbnail, I just wanted to do that. But maybe I will go back and use that as a thumbnail because how funny would that be? Okay. Now we have to do important things. Yep, and it's all over my hand, and this thing is in the way again. Like, it's just that kind of life, you know? Dude. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The bread is stuck in my teeth. I wasn't trying to do like a whole entire like dentist exhibit for you guys. Like, I can't do this. Dentist Mosey exhibit. Dentist traveling Mosey exhibit. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you probably do. Anyway. It's a museum, but they have traveling exhibits. One time I went to a traveling mosey exhibit, and they had, like, it was so funny because it would be so banned right now, I feel like, in this country. It was a traveling mosey exhibit that went to, like, all of the states and maybe other places too, I don't know. But they had, like, real dead human fetuses and also babies, like real dead bodies of babies that were all donated to science. And they made a traveling exhibit for them where they're just like in formaldehyde or something and they're just there. And people wrote little things that you can read about them, and no way would they really be like allowed, right, with the current administration. I feel like, I don't know. Do you think they can still do it? I don't know. I have no idea how much it's really changed. I just hear the news and I'm like, oh, it sounds like the world is like weirdly not okay with this normal thing anymore. Like, okay. Yeah, you know, you get to walk around that mosey exhibit, see all the people who didn't get to be born, but it's fine because they probably would have had to be like adopted anyways, or not necessarily like going to good homes and stuff, you know. I don't know anything about that, but what I do know is I don't think abortion is weird. I mean, I've obviously never had one, but I don't know. I think, like, no shame if you have. Like, so what? You made a choice in your own human life, and, like, that was your life. And, like, that's how it went. Like, what are we gonna blame people for the past? What are you gonna blame people for, like, stuff that already happened? Blame people for the future. They're making their choices, like, right now, you know? I don't know. I don't see that as, like, bad at all. I don't care. You're a human right now, like, have a nice life, you know? Like, make whatever choices align with you having a good life right now or a better life right now for the rest of your life. Have a good life. Like, if that includes whatever, it includes whatever. Like, I'm not, you know, but you make sure your life is good. If someone's walking around trying to police how good your life is gonna be, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but you're a free person. If you're not, call the police, but you're a free person. You can have your life. Like, oh my god. I don't know. I think people need to calm down because it doesn't matter. But I also expect the consciousness on the human planet, Earth, to be raisin brain cells, like non-existent. Like, I understand everybody shared one brain cell in a really bad way, and that brain cell was clearly radioactive and killing you. But you would have been better off without any brain cells because you wouldn't have tried to control other people. You know? I think the people without brain cells are living more peacefully than some of the people with brain cells. So, I don't know. Not saying like I support like not having brain cells anymore, but like it's not that deep. Like, I don't know, some people got pregnant and then had an abortion and donated it to science. Like, and then people from wherever all around the world paid money to come and see them and look at them. They're famous. They're basically Taylor Swift. Like, they're, I don't know. And they didn't even have to be a person for all that. I don't know. They didn't have to do a whole lot. They just had to start forming their body and then not be allowed to anymore. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But, you know. tea is such a contemplative, like, serious experience. Tea is one of those things where, like, it makes you feel more real, right? Like, in the human life, it makes you, some things make you feel more real, some things make you feel, like, less real. So, like, kind of in a good way, I guess, the things that make you feel more real bring you closer to developing any supernatural powers, because it gives you the strength to have to face it. But anything that makes you feel more real can be an omen, even in a negative way, that you won't have any control over. So it's possible that if you're having a very not real feeling life, that even just about, like, a tea bag, if you never see a tea bag in your life and your whole experience has been, like, less real than that, you could even see a tea bag and that can be an omen that something bad is going to happen, or something you can't control is going on, right? But it has to be, like, an omen that, like, an omen has to stand out from your regular life. So if you have tea every single day, you're going to be so desensitized, you're never going to see tea as an omen. Your omen has to be something that stands out. Even if it's, like, an omen for, like, a good life, if you've never seen an apple tree in your life and suddenly you see one, it might be, like, an omen. But it has to be something you've never seen, or it's not, or, like, you don't assume it's an omen if it's something you've seen before. Like, if you've seen a black cat and you own one, and then you go to the park and there's a black cat, that black cat is probably not an omen. Actually, maybe it is, because I feel like black cats are, like, weird. Like, I feel like they're always an omen, but I wouldn't even take it as an omen. I would be like, oh, is it, like, a part of the same higher self as my black cat? Like, I don't have a black cat, but, like I would take it, or, like, would I be like, oh, like, the higher self of, like, somebody I know is, like, possessing that cat to come see me, like, like, I wouldn't take it as, like, you know what I mean? I would not take it as, I don't know, but I feel like black cats are good. Like, I feel like, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like if you see a black cat, it's, like, maybe you're gonna, like, buy a house or something. Like, I feel like a black cat is, like, one of those really positive omens, especially if you see a black cat with, like, a purple aura, then I'm like, you're probably gonna, like, buy a house in, like, 10 days or something crazy, you know? Like, like, I feel like that's, like, a good one to see. But if you're having a really, like, magical special life and suddenly you just see, like, a bunch of, like, tea bags, like, on the ground or something, like, I think that's, like, a really bad omen. Like, I think you need to, like, run or something. Like, not even run, because it's, like, whatever it is coming for you either way. Like, whatever it is, it's, like, the Nephilim are gonna teleport to you and eat you. Like, like, something bad. If you've never seen a tea bag and you see one for the first time, like, you're gonna, the things are happening, you know? Like a zombie scarecrow is gonna come, like, bite your neck and tear it apart. Like, be careful. I don't know. Be so careful. I just literally poured tea on my pants. Like, so sad. So sad. Whatever. I do that all the time, though. Like, I'll accidentally pour, like, a drink on myself. Or I'll, like, accidentally, like, if it's, like, on the ground, like, I'll accidentally kick it or something. Or, like, whatever. Like, if I set, like, a drink on the ground, I'll literally accidentally kick it. Not meaning to. So. I had to fully, I don't talk about this enough, I had to fully, like, desensitize myself from all omens. I didn't like omens. I went through a sort of, like, an initiation to that, I guess. Like, I didn't like omens. Omens were, everything was an omen. But, like, everything was, like, a really bad omen. Which I guess means that I've technically lived a good life, but technically in my own, you know. But, you know. Everything was an omen in a really bad way, but then it felt like they were, like, revolving around me, but there was no meaning to any of them, but they were all really bad. So I had to fully desensitize myself. Like, I had to go through that for, like, a few months without it stopping. Like, it was just, I just had to fully desensitize myself to omens. So it was like everything I experienced was an omen, but an omen that something really bad was gonna happen. and there wasn't a waking moment that didn't include an omen that something really bad was gonna happen, but they weren't the kind of omens that you Google and it means something. They were the kind of omens that you Google and what it tells you isn't what you actually believe, and you don't know what you actually believe, you just know that whatever it tells you doesn't feel right. And even Google feels like an omen, and then you're like, oh no. But it's fine, like, grounded, but like, I was like, I just had to desensitize myself to all omens. So now, there are very few things in the human life that actually like, scare me that much. Because I had to be like, even if I died, I would just reincarnate or I would go wherever I want. Like, I had to see it. I had to chase what I was afraid of. So that I could, like, not have any, like, ghosts, I guess, in my experience. Basically, to me, like, a ghost is... How would I explain it? You know, people say they have, like, a soul fragment that's, like, not with them. To me, when I say, like, somebody has, like, ghosts or something, it's not, oh, there's, like, a ghost, like, somebody died and there's a ghost. To me, I'm not saying it can't be something like that, but, like, I see a ghost more as, like, a spirit, but a spirit that's a piece of your own soul. Which I know people might be like, but that's what a ghost is. But I don't know, I haven't decided to combine them yet. If I'm going to, I haven't decided to combine them yet, okay? Okay. I don't care if it's embarrassing that I'm not at your level. I don't care if it's embarrassing. I don't care if you're like, oh, Celeste, you haven't even figured this out. You don't even matter. Like, I don't care. You know what? I don't even care. Why? Because maybe I will someday and maybe I won't. That's another part of, like, you know the idea of a curse? It's like somebody could kill you if they don't like you. So I had to fully desensitize myself to, like, what if somebody kills me just because they decide they don't like me? You know? Like that. Like, but, like, that's, like, what a curse is. But it's, like, the curse is, like, they can do it with their thoughts alone, you know? Like, but, and I know it can be like, oh, like, if you are strong, then you wouldn't have died from it, whatever. But I'm like, but if I trusted you and you wanted me to die, I might as well have died. Like, like, kind of Shakespeare about that, you know? I definitely am a little Shakespeare about that. I'm like, but if you wanted me to die and I didn't die, it's the same thing. Like, oh. You know? I just wanted to lick the, like, the cold foam that it got on the edge, so. I was like, wait, we're having a weirdly intimate experience if I look up at you, like, you know? Like, I was like, wait a minute. Not that I didn't mean that, but, like, do I? I don't know. I love candles. Oh, I was gonna explain what I feel like a ghost is. Okay, obviously there's different versions of ghosts. I'm not talking about, like, oh, you died and now your body is, like, a ghost. Like, not your body. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you're a ghost walking around and, like, you don't have a body anymore. Like, I'm not talking about that. Right now I see it as, like, completely separate just because I haven't even decided what I want that to be because I was so consumed with other things that were more important to me. I didn't even get to that because I had so many more things that had a stronger, like, spell over me that I had to work on first. So there's some things, like, I didn't get to, or that I didn't even clear up, like, how I feel about. Again, because something had, like, such a strong spell over me that I had to, like, resolve that. But then it takes, like, so much effort to resolve, so it's like, okay, like, I just didn't have time for, like, whatever the fuck happens to somebody after they die. I'm weirdly confident. I'm like, okay, so if I died and I was a ghost, like, first of all, I don't even think I would just be a ghost stuck on the planet. I think I would just go wherever I want. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that. Because, like, anybody could, like, get stuck as a ghost, right? I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'm just not there yet. Because I had to work on the other meaning of a ghost, which to me is, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so ingrained in me that it's not separate enough for me to analyze it as something different from myself. I just use it all the time. But like, wait, what does it mean if somebody else could use it too? Okay, say, name like your biggest fear. And then, okay, that's not actually supposed to be a fear, you just still have ghosts, essentially, in that area, because, like, it's actually not that bad, you just haven't seen the version of it that's good. Or, like, for you. Say you're so scared that, say you're a girl, you're dating a guy, we're gonna go with, like, cheesiest example first, okay? Because I don't know what to explain it to you. Say you're a girl, you're dating a guy, you're scared he's gonna cheat on you. Whether he did or not, it's like a ghost of like, oh, I'm so afraid that this is gonna happen. Like, you're turning it into a part of you that something that might or might not happen, like, hasn't happened. Or you don't know if it has, right? So, say you're like going through his phone or something, right? Like, that's like you like trying to address like the ghost that you have, essentially. Like, you're trying to face it. You're like, okay, like, I would have been scared, but like right now, like, I have to like face this part of myself that I'm so scared of. It's like, yeah, it's like the final way to like face the skeleton in your closet. It's like, you've been so scared. What if there's a skeleton in your closet? What if there's a skeleton in your closet? Like, you've been like, I live here, I'm not gonna leave because I love the home, but I'm not gonna open the closet, I'm too scared. It's like you still have ghosts because you're too scared to open your own closet and find out what's in there. Because it wasn't supposed to be so bad either way, even if it's true. Essentially, if you have, like a ghost where you're like afraid somebody's gonna like cheat on you, whatever, it's like you think that you wouldn't leave them even if they did, or you think that this is the only person out there for you, or you think it would be so bad if you were alone. Like, those are the ghosts that you have. Like, it's like if you write down like every reason why you have this fear still, like, those are your ghosts, basically, if you look like really deep with it. So, if you're scared there's like a physical skeleton in your closet, right? So you're doing everything else to distract yourself, but it keeps coming back to you like, oh my god, like, there's a skeleton in the closet. Well, are you scared that you're going to be on trial for murder if there's a skeleton in your closet, even though you know you didn't put it there? Are you scared somebody is trying to frame you? I know it's like a metaphor if there's a skeleton in your closet, but I'm saying, like, if you're scared there's a literal skeleton in your closet, then you have ghosts where you're afraid of like a lawsuit, you're afraid of police, you're afraid of like a trial, you're afraid of finding out the body with somebody you know or somebody who's lived at the house before. You're like, whoa. And you might have ghosts where you're afraid that there's like a lingering energy that could hurt you somehow, or that the spirit of whoever that was is like trying to hurt you. Well, when you resolve your ghosts, you find out even if all of those things were true. It's like the improv mindset where no matter what somebody says, you just say yes and then you continue the story. It's like, oh, well, maybe there's gonna be a lawsuit because of this skeleton, right? That's like what your ghost is. And then it's like, well, yes, and guess what? It's not only that, but like, you don't actually have to be afraid because of this. Like, it doesn't mean the world is all peaches and roses, because you might end up going to prison over somebody else planting a skeleton in your closet that's physically real. But you find out after the end of your human life, oh, it wasn't so bad because my soul chose that as like the number one like experience I wanted to have while I was there, and here's what I was gonna get out of it. And like, I already agreed, and I had like a signed contract agreeing to that, even though it was supposed to be a surprise to my human self while I was walking around in the life. So it's about like, I guess, like resolving like ghosts that you have. It's about the practice of facing your worst fear and finding out on the other side that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was. So it makes other things not scare you. It makes you have like such a resistance to like fear and all of that. Because whatever your ghost is, like, it's either going to work out for you as a human, or it's going to be terrible for you as a human, but it's going to work out for your soul on the other side. So you kind of like, you're like, okay, like, I already know what I signed up for, even if I don't know what I signed up for. Like, at some point in time, I knew what I signed up for, even if it's the worst possible thing that could ever happen. Like, I don't have to actually be as afraid as I would have been, because no matter what, like, my soul is going to get something out of this experience either way. And there's nothing that can happen on Earth that your soul will not get something out of. I mean, there are like pointless experiences, but nothing that can hurt you or change you that your soul can't get something out of is sort of like what I believe with that. So, not that like you want to have every experience. Yeah, if there's danger, run from it. Like, that's the whole point, you know? You're supposed to care to survive. But, you also want to be able to, like, be so grounded that you can deal with the situation and not, like, panic. And you definitely don't want to be someone who's panicking about things that are, like, so far in the future or whatever, because, okay, like, say you're scared you're gonna fail a test, and then you won't get into whatever dream job or dream school. Like, I know it's, like, hard to work through, essentially, but, like, facing your ghosts are, like, the process of overcoming that fear. It doesn't mean you intentionally fail the test. You have to be able to face your own self enough to still put your best foot forward, and, like, so what if the world ends just because you didn't get what you wanted, you know? Like, your soul is still gonna get a lot more on the other side. Even if you chose, like, a really negative experience, like, you were still already supposed to get something out of it. But facing your ghosts is saying, like, no matter how bad it is, on the human world, there's only so many things that can happen, and all of those things are something that, like, you can use to your advantage, no matter what it is. Even if it's, like, the worst possible thing. So, that's the practice that I see the most. That's what I see as the most important, because it, like, strengthens your lower chakras, in my opinion, to where your mind isn't going to overreact to anything that does happen in your life, or anything you find out about. So, that being said, I understand it may be completely the same or completely separate from the idea of, like, just a ghost walking around who used to be a human or whatever, or created by somebody. If anything, it's maybe what I would want to get into learning about. It's just I want to do it in my own way, in my own time, because I still like to have, like, a certain order to things, I guess. Which maybe I'll change, maybe I won't, I don't know. But that is the type of magic that I see as the most valuable right now, is, like, working on facing any ghosts that I have, and then once I've done that, or I think some people like to say collecting every soul fragment, but I've already kind of, like, gone down that train of thought, and I didn't really like it that much, so I like to just see it as, like, reclaiming every ghost that you have. I mean, clearly one ghost I have is not wanting my voice to be heard in certain contexts, or, like, certain, like, oh, it doesn't sound good in this way or that way. So with singing, I'm facing that a lot, because I have to say, like, I have no way to know if this is good or bad for as long as I see it good and bad as something that only exists within somebody else's mind. I have to develop my own version of good and bad. Otherwise, it's never going to mean something to me, personally. Which can be hard when it's one of your deepest insecurities, but also something you've always been inspired by, but something you always wanted to see as something only other people could do, like that kind of thing. So when you dive headfirst into something, you don't know how long the journey is and how many hours it's going to take to become someone who matters more, essentially, like, in your mind. But you have to be very stable before you can see it as that, because that can be kind of like a fragile way of seeing yourself. So those are what I see as ghosts. Sorry guys, I had my phone stop recording. I don't know where, but it was because I had, like, an hour-long video that I hadn't deleted yet. So theoretically, I have a whole other hour that I can record if I want to, right? I think that's how it works, because I shouldn't lose that hour of storage space just because of that. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like, 1 hour video that you have in your camera roll and then you record for another hour for a separate video. Like, I know I only have like 7 brain cells and stuff, but like, I'm pretty sure that together that's 2 hours. Then you can have 2 hours of footage on your phone. And then if you fully delete one, then like, you should have room for that extra hour. I think that's how it works. So. But I don't even want to record for like a whole other hour. I just want to like, I don't know. I wanted to like let you guys know that that's what happened. I don't know. You know what Apple does? You know what Apple does? If you're editing an iMovie, Apple loves to say you have to lower the quality of your video before you can export it, or it won't let you. And it loves to use the excuse that you don't have storage space. But if you have an hour-long video that you delete, even from your recently deleted, it'll still use the same excuse before and after, that you don't have enough storage space. But sometimes it'll let you do it anyways, and sometimes it won't. It's like they're trying to get you to like upgrade your phone or upgrade your plan and just give them more money. It's like a manipulation tactic that they use, or that they've built into the iPhone system. Because it was never about storage space. It was about, oh, you have this kind of phone, we're gonna make your life harder in this way, and if you don't pay more money to upgrade, it's still gonna happen. And they're like, well, if you're using our services, that's how it's gonna be, right? And there's just not really a lot of competition that feels equally as important as Apple, weirdly. Like, I kind of feel like Apple has like a vibe to it and energy to it. So it's not even that I want to switch away from Apple. I like the vibe. It's just weird. I'm just not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of like it being even legal to have manipulation tactics like that. I'm just not it's not that I don't like Apple, it's that like I think I would like Apple more post the delegalization of manipulation tactics of that form. I would love for it to be like federally illegal for them to hurt people in that way. You know, but seriously though, you like shouldn't be trying to manipulate people like that just for a few more dollars. As if they don't make money already. As if they don't make money already. That's crazy. It's so crazy. But also, I don't know, Apple's on my watch for businesses that hopefully will have good morals in the future, but they have one of those we just feel like we're better than other people, but we're not going to tell you why energies right now. They always have, but it's just very prominent right now. And I know that they have their thing going on with the Trump administration, like trying to like suck up to them and like gain some like fake importance over there and stuff, right? But the like true nature of the energy of the company of Apple right now, it does feel like, you know, we're just gonna make sure everyone feels like we're better than everybody else for no reason, which I understand is like, oh, it's a corporation, it's a brand, that's what they try to do, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's coming from, it's one of those ambiguous, like it doesn't mean it's coming from a bad place, but it might be coming from a bad place and we might find out. So they're sort of like on my radar for we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope that they're not gonna do something really bad, but there's no reason to believe that we know for sure. So, I'm like, I see Apple as one of the ones that might go either way. I know that they're not advocating. If they're advocating in a very like Republican way, there's a lot of ways they're gonna not care about certain things, certain types of people, right? Demographics. So already, that's not okay. Already. But I'm saying like, I'm talking about like really serious stuff that they might or might not like advocate for at some point in time. Like I don't know. I'm just hesitant. I'm like, hopefully you guys decide to go the right way, but sometimes brands that feel like they're better than everybody, it's coming from like a bad place. Sometimes it's just coming from wanting to make more money. Sometimes it's coming from something really dark, so really dark and disturbing, so I don't know yet. But I do like Apple phones, so that's why I'm hoping they don't do anything like seriously terrible, at some point in like 20 years or something. 10 years, or like a going into the end of the world type of thought form. I'm hoping that they don't do like, main character end of the world stuff. I'm hoping that they're not the one who does something like that, which you can use your imagination, but what are some of the worst things that could happen in that type of frame of thought is like what I'm hoping they stay away from. But it's a fun energy to be in when it's the energy of we're just better, like for not a specific reason, we just feel like we're better. Like it feels like magic to be like, oh, we're just better and we don't know why. But you have to remember that for corporations that might be coming from like a really bad source and you might not know. So then it feels like a fun energy, but then it's like, or are they trying to be inclusive in the future or something, So it's like, I don't know, I'm mindful of like, hopefully they decide to, hopefully it's in a good way, not in a bad way. But yeah, I don't know. I just have certain companies that'll come to my mind and I'm like, okay, like I'm kind of watching you right now because I don't know what direction you're gonna decide to go in the near future, so yeah. I mean, I think everybody knows the types of context where like it can be so fun to be a part of the group where you're just so important, but you might find out the morals of that group are not what you are okay with. And I think everybody can imagine the context of like an end of the world. Why do other people think they're better than me for no reason and it's not based on anything, like that kind of thing. So I don't think I have to explain it. It's just like hopefully they decide to be inclusive and it's not in a bad way. Because there's a lot of different categories of ways that can show up. Other than they're just a $1 billion corporation, which they already are. And is it great? No. But it's a part of our world. But there are worse things than that I'm hoping they're not going to be. But again, when I start to feel like, oh my god, this company is like so interesting because they just feel like they think they're special, and then I find out it's in a really bad way and over something terrible. So again, hopefully that's not the way it goes. I feel so cute right now though. Like I feel like I don't know, maybe my magic is like in a good way right now. So I'm trying to face some really weird ghosts I had with physical appearance and it just being super awkward. And then when I would try to read into this, it's like it just ridiculous stuff, but that I couldn't get out of my mind and stop believing, so I had to slowly transition. And then I'm like, it made me like insecure about my physical appearance. I think people could tell, but it made me like insecure about that a little bit. And then I would try to like cycle through it, but I would go back and forth and I don't have to look perfect. I just have to continue the story in the best possible way from wherever I'm at with so much love. Anyway, that's all I have for the video. I love you guys. I hope that you have the most amazing life ever. Mwah! Ah! I love you. Bye.